Hey everyone, welcome to Gameplay First, where fun is second to none. My name's Tyler.
And I'm Mike.
And this is part 2 of the top 10 catchiest game themes.
As someone who sucks tremendously at video games, I can't tell you what a joy it was to find a game like Super Meat Boy. The music is so awesome that I'm not even that pissed off that I die horribly every 11 seconds.
I mean, I swear like a sailor with his dick in a blender, but I feel okay on the inside.
The entire soundtrack plays like a modern pop rock album, partially due to studio production value and the instrumentation. It's very hard to pick a favorite from the collection, but we went with this one because it's Tyler's favorite.
There's something magical about music which can soothe the level of acrimony and frustration this game creates in even the most seasoned of gamers. But that's Super Meat Boy. It's easily one of the best indie titles ever to be released, and the soundtrack is practically unrivaled amongst platformers. Practically.
Speaking of fat plumbers...
God damn it! The overworld theme to Super Mario Bros. 2 is quite possibly my favorite Mario theme ever composed, with the theme from Super Mario 3D Land coming in at a close second. This is quite possibly the first 8-bit song I ever heard in my infancy, and I guarantee it shaped my developing brain into the unapologetically nerdy man I've become.
Man, huh?
Okay, man-child.
Mario 1 obviously had a huge impact on me as a guy born in the 80s, but Mario 2 was among the first songs to come to mind when we started putting this list together. This theme is more melodic and jazzy than its predecessor as well. It's more fun to listen to, and it's more effective in invoking the emotion of playing the game. It brings you back through time.
Speaking of Batman, I actually prefer the Elliot Goldenthal Batman theme over the Danny Elfman version. Now, I know I'm in the minority here, but so rarely does a sequel do such a great job of introducing a new theme to replace such an iconic one. And in my opinion, this is also accomplished by Mario 2.
Oh, okay, that's where you were going with that, because you started out in left field over here, and then you brought it back in. Good job with that one.
I know what I'm doing. Speaking of flying rodents, Earthworm Jim!
New Junk City from Earthworm Jim. Specifically, the PC version of New Junk City. This song does a great job of getting you ready for some intergalactic, laser-blasting, worm-whipping, ball-busting fun. I love Earthworm Jim, and this song is, in my opinion, the heart and soul of what this game is about. Kicking ass as a worm in a supersuit. Which is a lot cooler than it sounds, trust me.
Now, I've already given this song some crap for taking so long to get started, but what the song really has going for it is that it's rhythmically interesting. There's all kinds of syncopation going on up in this bitch. When the melody finally comes in around 30 seconds, it's pretty good, and the song does a good job of setting the stage for a fun video game. I think I like the Genesis version best simply because I prefer the sounds of the instruments. Both the Genesis and the PC Sega CD versions were great, but the Genesis version reached me more.
For me, I like the PC Sega CD version better because it grabs you from the moment you press start. That said, I also love the Game Gear version, but that's mostly because I had the Game Gear version as a kid, so there's a nostalgia factor there. By the way, the Game Gear version of Earthworm Jim is basically a complete recreation of the console version in handheld, which on a technical level is pretty impressive.
Sure, why not? So, what's number 1?
Fuck the hell yes! The remastered theme from Cave Story. I don't think I've ever sat at a title screen so long. The first time I ever played Cave Story, I must have listened to this song loop 3 times before I even pressed start. And on top of that, Cave Story is basically a game that needs no review. It's amazing! It's basically a perfect game, from gameplay to music to challenge to replay value to story and everything else. I simply cannot praise this game enough.
But he'll sure try. This song wastes no time in becoming badass. The bass and the chords are moving, the drums are great, it's jazzy but not complicated, and the melody is super effective. I want this to be the song that plays on my morning alarm just so I can start every day with this thing. The theme in particular encapsulates everything we're looking for on this list. It hits the ground running, it's interesting, it's melodic, and it syncs up perfectly with the theme from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
What?
Punch it, Chewie!
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel-Air.
What the fuck?
Right?
I've never even heard of this game before today, but I know it will be with me forever. This is, quite simply, a superb piece of music.
Well, I think we put together a pretty solid list.
Yeah, and I think we've grown closer together. Music
Don't
brings...
touch me. For Gameplay First, this is Tyler.
And Mike.
Signing off. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go find what Mike broke. Oh God, it's everywhere!
Yeah, sorry about that. Hey, do you have an EpiPen?
I hate you so much.
Nailed it.